The 2024 Harley Davidson new model launch just happened, and it's a mixed bag as usual. One takeaway: Harley is simplifying its lineup and prices, which, with a very few exceptions, are going up. Another takeaway: Harley is following Indian in pricing its entry-level models anyways. Ah yes, prices always sit at the center of any new Harley launch discussion. But this year, you could argue that some of the higher prices actually give you a better value, like with the new road and street glides, 4K more expensive, but more than 4K better, in my opinion. And the Nightster, Harley's entry-level model, has finally come down in price to match the Indian Scout family. No doubt due to the fact that my channel and many others have been ragging on Harley about having a $13,500 entry-level bike. In other news, we have a new CVO, the non-variable valve timing 121 cubic inch high output Road Glide ST. And a Pan America CVO? What? By the way, the standard Pan America is gonzo, in North America anyways. The variable valve timing CEOs stay the same and a few models are scrapped. So to hear all the details and what they mean, stay tuned. And as always, if you're enjoying the content, please help out the channel by subscribing, liking the video, and sharing it with friends. So, by far the biggest news is the introduction of the new street and road glides. Gone are the old base models as well as the specials and the STs. These new models have consolidated all of the other ones into one platform, and despite the fact that they are $4,000 more expensive than last year's base models, they are worth it. First and most obvious, they get the CVO styling with the new fairings. Second, and most importantly, they get the 117 cubic inch motor, which is good for 105 horsepower and 130 pound-feet of torque. This now makes them competitive with the Indian Challenger. In addition, these bikes have a redesigned chassis, forks, shocks, new seats, upgraded stereo, a massive 12.3-inch touchscreen display, and a whole suite of modern electronics. We're talking rider modes, sport, road, rain, and custom, and lean-sensitive traction control and ABS. Finally, these base to mid-level Harley baggers are competitive with Indian, Honda, and BMW. Dare I say better in some ways. And they cost $26,000 US and a nice round $32,000 Canadian, which is a lot of money, but less than the specials cost last year, for bikes that are pretty much better in every way. So it's a win for everyone except those who don't care about the bling bling and would have liked to retain the pair of entry-level $22,000 models from last year. An addition to the Harley Baggerverse is the new CVO Road Glide ST. Now, I previously mentioned that the Road and Street Glide STs are gone, so this model is sort of a replacement for those. This bike has a 121 cubic inch high output motor which is tuned for maximum power, approaching 130 horsepower and a tick over 130 pound-feet of torque. The red line on this motorcycle is a rather high 5,900 RPM, and the bike is geared low for acceleration. At $43,000 US and $52,800 Canadian, the Road Glide ST CVO is actually slightly less expensive than the Road and Street Glide CVOs, which will run you $44.5K US and $54.5 Canadian. I think that one of the reasons for this is the absence of variable valve timing on the ST. What will this mean to real-world riding? Expect the mileage on the ST to be a bit lower and the peak power and torque to be higher and also sit higher in the rev range. Personally, I'm not sure why anyone would buy this over the non-ST CVO Road Glide. A slight edge in power at higher RPM is not what most bagger riders are looking for, and gimmicky features like track mode and carbon fiber bits don't really fit on a bagger either, my opinion only. No matter how much Harley and Indian push the King of the Baggers series, no one in their right mind is going to take a $50,000 US out-the-door bagger to the track to get smoked by a 16-year-old on a 95 GSXR 600. I did enjoy the video where Harley closed down some city streets and shot two of these things racing each other. Way to channel the old Victory cross-country commercials, but no one will ride these things like that, and I don't see the CVO Road Glide ST sticking around very long in Harley's lineup. Don't try this at home, kids. Professional riders on a closed course, yada yada. Fun times, and I commend Harley for shooting the sequence. What I don't commend Harley for is the other CVO edition, the $28,400 US and $34,600 Canadian dollar CVO Pan America. This is a Pan America with hard bags and a top case, a quick shifter, wire-spoked wheels, muffler, engine and rad guards, a skid plate, heated grips, a toolkit, and a nice paint job. Now this thing is $8,400 US and $9,600 Canadian dollars more expensive than the special, and I struggle to see how that is justified. Additionally, being an adventure bike guy myself, I regularly drop my Yamaha T7 off-road. So the idea of getting a CVO with that nice paint and then throwing it down a trail seems ludicrous. Plus, Harley got rid of the standard Pan America in the North American market, and this is the only model they had which provided better value than competing premium brands. So now that the new and improved BMW R1300 GS is out and is clearly better than the Pan America, Harley comes out with a CVO? Puzzling, but whatever. The CVO Pan America is likely going to end up either a garage queen for rich riders or a pavement sport tourer which will not need any of that extra armor. If Harley is serious about making a more off-road worthy Pan America, they should drop the CVO moniker and offer double-take mirrors and proper aluminum handguards as standard instead of the fancy paint. Levers and mirrors are the first thing to break in an off-road tip-over. On the bright side, the US website still has the standard Pan America listed, and you can't beat that price. Finally, the company listened to me and started building affordable bikes. Speaking of affordable, after all the flack that Harley got for offering a $13,500 entry-level bike, they finally dropped the price of the Nightster and Nightster Special to be more in line with the Indian Scouts with which these bikes compete. The Nightster is now $12,000 US and $14,500 Canadian, and the Nightster Special is still overpriced for what you get. Other models are slightly up in price, but considering the crazy inflation of late, that was to be expected. Finally, the limited models are still offered with the older fairings, as are the trikes. At this point, I don't understand why anyone would get one right now, considering they will probably be upgraded next year. I don't expect these to fly out of the showrooms in 2024. So what did we not get? Still no Bronx or Pan America 975. I've explained in other videos why such bikes would not compete on price or performance in their respective categories, so don't hold your breath for those to come out anytime soon. Based on this release, there were no other models hinted at this year. And so, again this year, the new model release is a mixed bag. The new Road and Street Glide are winners for me, though the elimination of entry-level baggers isn't great. Apparently, Harley really wants to sell less and less bikes every year. If they are hoping to make Harleys more scarce, I've got news for them. There are thousands and thousands of them on the used market. And while the new Road and Street Glide are a decent value, they make the new CVO Road and Street Glide appear to be less so. Do the differences between the standard and CVO models justify the difference in price? I don't think so. Still no electric windshields or electronically adjustable suspension on the CVOs, by the way, while less pricey competitors have them. However, despite all of my gripes, Harley Davidson has finally produced a bike I'd think about buying new. The new Street Glide looks good to me. Ooh, I must be getting old. But then, I have to say, if I was looking for a bagger, which I'm not yet anyways, that's the one I'd buy. Would it kill Harley to put an electric windshield on it? Both the Indian Chieftain and the Goldwing have had them for years. Still, that Street Glide is nice and finally competitive in the segment. Thank you, Indian, for existing. If not for Indian, Harley would still be on the twin cam. But what do you think of the 2024 Harley lineup? Anything pique your interest? Is Harley losing you as a potential customer by methodically purging the most affordable models from its lineup? Please share your thoughts in the comments below. Ride safe, and may the spokes be with you.